Alright, everyone, we're gonna get right into this diamond scene. Hopefully it records everything. I've had a few times where it's like, it seemed like a recording, but it wasn't. So hopefully this stays recorded. So, anyways, here we go. You all may have a point. Okay. You all may have a point. I will ask the Prince Regent, for a moment of Sir Gideon's time. I doubt he will deny the woman who just saved his life. I don't really have voices for them. You and Mr. Sinclair approach the Prince Regent, who stands surrounded by 4 guards. It's going to make sure everything's recording. Pardon me, Your Royal Highness, but might I have a moment more to speak with Sir Gideon before he's taken away? We realized we have some unfinished business with the man. I suppose that would be all right. I will have to have the captain of my guard accompany you to relay any information gained. Of course, thank you. They will meet you out on the balcony. I don't wish to witness anything unsavory. A few moments later, you and Mr. Sinclair stand on the balcony before a kneeling Sir Gideon. His hands are still bound, and he is flanked by 2 members of the Royal Guard. You again! What more could you possibly want from me, after all you have taken? I only want to, comprehend to rend some information out of you. You draw back your fist, and Sir Gideon shrinks away, holding his manacled hands out to shield himself. Further violence unnecessary. I will tell you whatever you wish to know. You did best me after all. How unfortunate. I was rather hoping you would require more persuasion. Let us see how forthcoming he is, Mr. Sinclair. Tell me, what did you initially plan for Viscount Harry? My discovery that the heir to the Edgewater had arrived in France was a pleasant surprise. But how did you even discover his identity? He was thought to be dead. It pays to have contacts within the military, and there were all manner of unsavory sorts in its ranks. Bribery, that figures. I resolved to befriend Viscount Harry, as I knew he could be a valuable ally in the future. At the time, I only anticipated that he would support me when the time came for my coup, until you entered the picture. Ah, so I was a thorn in your side from the beginning. Quite so. Your brother became a convenient contingency, a reserve in case you proved troublesome. It was only once I realized you were swaying him against me that I was forced to resort to other means of persuasion. Right. I'm sure you felt very forced. Tell me, how long were you planning to have my brother kill the Prince Regent? I had been considering it as early as the duel, when I had the replacement gun constructed. When you stole my family pistol, you mean? The decision was finalized as soon as I learned that the Queen and Prince Regent would be attending your wedding. Ever the opportunist, aren't you? I could not help myself, considering the added benefit of the doubt it would cast on your character. The royal family assassinated at my wedding. And after everything that happened with Mr. Richards, your reputation would be forever tarnished, as would Edgewater's. I've answered more questions than you are owed. Will you leave me in peace now? Not until I am fully satisfied that you are no longer a threat. You cannot make me answer you. I beg to differ. You glance at the guard captain who grips Sir Gideon by his collar and pulls him to his feet. You'll answer the lady, or you'll learn the king's justice. You'll learn what the king's justice feels like. He brandishes a fist, and Sir Gideon shrinks back. Fine, continue. The guard returns Sir Gideon to the ground. What happened to the real Comte Renard? Ah, yes, little Percival's true family. I tried to convince him of my plans, but he would have none of it. Ultimately, I felt I had to do away with Comte Renard to protect my plan. He was an innocent man. Innocent, yes, but also too clever for his own good. It was his undoing. You were his undoing. You treacherous cretin. Surely his other relatives were suspicious. I wrote them on his behalf, informing them of a move to England in the hopes of repairing Percival's relationship with his father. It was among the simpler of my ruses, to be honest. What originally made you wish to be king? I never wished to be king. In fact, when I was a brash, newly appointed knightly, I wished to destroy the monarchy. Destroy the monarchy? And replace it with what? Something that wouldn't punish the poor and downtrodden like my parents. It's the reason I participated in the riot that got me exiled. Yes, the Bristol Bridge riot of 1793. I remember reading about it. I was only trying to stop a measure that would leave my mother without a home. They called me a traitor for that, so I resolved to show them the real treason looks like. What real treason looks like. So this was all a plot of revenge? No, it was much more than that. I saw that only a king could have the sort of power it needed. I knew I could never hold the position myself, but I could still wield the power. You may have begun the noble goal of saving your mother's home, but that doesn't justify what you've done. It certainly doesn't make you a hero. I believe history will be the judge of that. Come now, this is becoming ridiculous. Do you intend to keep me here all night? If it is necessary to ensure the safety of my friends and family, then yes. Now will you answer my questions, or shall I have the guard threaten you again? No, carry on if you must. Oh my god, there's so many questions. So many questions. How did you expect to frame Mr. Sinclair? Did you truly think anyone would believe that Mr. Sinclair wished the royal family dead? It would have been an easy story to sell after the fact. The broken and bereft orphan of Ledford Park, his pride and joy in ashes. Rebuilding delayed due to the Prince Regent's lavish lifestyle. Mr. Sinclair's face reddens at Sir Gideon's mocking smile, and he lunges forward, grabbing Sir Gideon's cravat in his fist. What did you do? Did you burn down Ledford Park? Heavens, no. Well, not personally. It was a mutual friend, shall we say. Mr. Sinclair rears back and strikes Sir Gideon with his free fist. You hear a sickening crack as hand connects the jaw. Hink! You look to the guards who pointedly train their eyes on the horizon. And you lay a hand on Mr. Sinclair's shoulder. Mr. Sinclair, Sir Gideon will soon see justice for this and everything else he has done. It wouldn't do you to harm yourself on his count. Yes, I know you're right. Mr. Sinclair releases Sir Gideon and steps a few paces back. Oh my god, there's so many questions. Tell me, how did you convince Countess Henrietta to go along with your ruse? Sir Gideon shrugs. I'm honestly not certain. I was extremely careful to keep my true identity hidden from most during your engagement to Mr. Richards. Frustratingly, it seems. But Countess Henrietta knew. Yes, she was the one true threat. I was as shocked as you were when she refused to corroborate your accusation. Perhaps she merely assumed the villains should stick together. Tell me, why didn't you return to exile after your gambit with Mr. Richards failed? You could have waited for another opportunity and returned in the future to enact a different plan. Sir Gideon hesitates for a moment, then meets your eyes. I believed I was being careful not to underestimate you, but in the end, that was my undoing. I did not expect you to sway Viscount Harry, nor discover Percival. Mr. Richards underestimated me as well, as you two have that in common. Unfortunately so. Tell me nothing more. We're done here. I've heard all I need to, and I am certain the Royal Guard will discover anything I may have missed. Very well. That leaves me one final thing. What could you possibly want? I told you everything you asked. You kick him hard between the legs and he cries in anguish. That was for Miss Parsons and Viscount Harry and me. A fitting send-off, I must say. You turn on your heels and return to the ballroom, followed closely by Mr. Sinclair. After a moment, you locate Mr. Parsons and your friends. Well, there you go. So that was the time and scene for Desire and Decorum. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out.